think I like this little life. I think I like this little life, says Rachel Hollis on her ranch. We're going to have to prepare ourselves for that type of content for the next 6 weeks at least until this thing falls through. Get ready. Get your hearts ready, everybody. I do have new sound bites, but did I load them in on time? No. But I will do that while we listen to this podcast. You might be surprised, like, what? Didn't you do this last night? Didn't you talk about this quite a bit last night, you psychopath? And the answer is yes, but Rachel dropped a brand new podcast. She must have known that the Kears World community meets on Wednesday. And so she held off thinking, I have a life of some sort. And she was dead wrong, of course. So I'm back to listen to her 1 hour, it's 56 minutes. We're going to skip through the ads of her explaining, in my opinion, lying about why she moved to New York in the dead of night, quietly in the middle of a renovation from LA to Hudson Valley, New York. Why she did this is still a mystery. Her claim, and we can review some of the basics that we have, like the clues are in front of us that we covered yesterday, just to recap. Okay, here's her Instagram. Here's her little private chat thing. Here's the video where she made the announcement. Oh, technically she made the announcement public, but whatever. Okay, here it is.
I've been trying to think of some clever way to say this because I always tell you guys what's going on in my life, and I can't think of a clever way to say it, so I'll just tell you. I moved to upstate New York.
Cue the tears.
I moved to upstate New York. Yeah, I'm literally sitting in my kitchen having coffee, looking out on a snowy pond. Let me show you.
She's choosing joy in this moment.
This is the pond. That's my yard. I'm back in the country.
About to cry once again.
I'm living in the snow for the very first time. That's going to be hilarious. And,
Is it?
Yeah. That's what's going on. I have been trying to think of...
Okay. So that was the big announcement. Everyone in the Hollis verse was shooketh. Okay, we're shocked. And then the response. So someone asked, of course, the Mick DRD. Okay, we need to give correct what do you call it? Attribution to these comments. I'm so confused. You are working on the house renovation. On the house renovation. Okay, why am I reading like that? You were working on the house renovation in your dream neighborhood in California. I know. The short answer is one day while Noah and I were in the car on the way home from school and we just passed our second hour in traffic. Her school is 7 miles from our house. I had a come to Jesus moment of what am I doing? When did this become normal for me? And 3 months later, here we are. Okay, I want the long answer because the short answer don't make no gosh darn sense. Okay, I'm sorry to say. It's not computing to me. You'd uproot your entire life. I did a little digging. So hold on. Shout out to, I'll tell you exactly who sent it to me. Both times, the listing. Now, she's talked about her house, shown her house pretty publicly. And now she doesn't live there. So I feel okay showing the listing personally. Hold on. Because she didn't seem like she was trying to hide it. But should I? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. What do you think? Is it wrong to show the real estate listing of what she publicly has posted? Maybe so. But let me at least give the shout out to Wild Gooseberry Tea. Shout out for spotting it. And again, it's a beautiful, beautiful property. How about we'll just do this? We'll just look at the pictures. We won't look at the address. Okay, oops. Let's see. Okay. So this is the house that they bought, and it was, according to Zillow, purchased by... I tried to find... California has different laws, so it seems, than Florida, with what you can look up. Like in Florida, you can basically look up anyone's house, like who owns it, what person purchased it. Some of them are LLCs, so it's like a business, but you can basically... see anyone who's a homeowner, like their full name. I couldn't find that in California in the court records or like the appraiser stuff. But I did just do the search of the address and it showed up Kez's name only. So she could have a thing where it blocks all of her information from being on the internet. That would make sense. And she's like sort of a public figure. He's less so. So maybe it's in his name and her name. Not sure. But it was sold for, 2.5 mil. And it's not currently for sale that I can see. So unless they're waiting to do that, there's a lot of confusion with that. But first, I heard something go off, so stand by. Let me see who said something. Someone said something to me, and I must respond right now. Hold on. I feel like I can't breathe, but it's not because I was doing any physical labor. It's because I was chugging this big gulp right before, and it was a big gulp indeed. I was told once I had to chug for 10 seconds straight or else I would be fat, and I just said, okay, Heidi Powell, Chris Powell. Okay, never mind. I heard nothing. I did see something pop up. Maybe someone subscribed. Thank you to whoever that was for subscribing. Okay, hawk to it. So now, that's the excuse that we heard. That was all the information that we had, was that the house renovations, unimportant. She just didn't like the traffic in LA, even though she had previously lived in LA for many, many years before moving to Texas. So she would have known about the traffic. Maybe the neighborhood wasn't up to her standards, but I cannot imagine. She was in a 90210 zip code. So it's like, that's as fancy as you can get. So let's hear it from her, essentially, what she says, the reason of getting a go bag together and hitting the road across the country. And I guess so Hudson Valley is about 2.5 hours from New York City. So within reason you can commute. It would not be a daily commute for me, at least, but I guess she is now in the New York City region. Okay, so here we go. Let's start.
We would always talk about someday. And some of you have heard me talk about, I have this champagne bottle. I like to write my dreams on champagne bottles and then store them in the fridge. And then when that dream comes true, we get to have a bottle of Dom. And one of my bottles of Dom says the first night at the ranch. This has been a very long time dream of mine that
She's already full of shit. I'm sorry. You don't go and make content about your house renovation, which was also her dream house, which I understand because it's a beautiful property. And then within 4 weeks, 8 weeks max, decide, no, that's not my dream. Forget it. I have a new dream and I'm bringing my champagne bottle and I'm going to do it. It makes no sense.
Today, I'm going to buy, I say ranch, but I don't want cattle or anything. I just want land. I want animals. I want my own vegetable garden. I want chickens that lay eggs. I want dogs. So this has been a dream for a long time.
I feel like she could have had all of that in California also. Like she could have moved to Orange County or go back to Bakersfield or somewhere. The New York thing is still throwing me off.
We would always talk about it, someday when we have a someday. So that was beginning of 2024. That talk started to become more common. But in our minds, we were talking about when Noah, who is my youngest, graduates school.
So she graduates school. The girl's like 8, not even. She was like, well, let me think. When Pancake Gate happened, I think she was turning 5 or turning 6. And that was 2021. So yeah, she's got to be around 9 now, maybe. I can't do the math. She's got a lot longer to go. And your other son's in school, and your other son's in school. So, and this is the middle of the year, so they're changing schools again. They haven't even finished one school year, I don't think, at this new California school, unless maybe they've been there a year or two. But it seems like such a big change would have an urgency and immediacy of it would have a negative reason, not just like, you know what, I want some dogs. I want a puppy. And I'm going to just uproot our whole life. It's just, I'm not buying this bullshit. Come on.
8. So we're like a decade in the future, right? And we would even make jokes like, oh, we're working out, we're taking care of our health so that someday when we get the ranch, like we're able to really enjoy it and like live our best life.
I haven't heard her podcast in such a long time. How do I collapse this? Oh, there you go. Oh, wow. I just, right before this podcast, I convinced my friend to let me on her Spotify account so we could get premium access. Okay, what happened to dinosaurs? That's gone, I think.
Hey guys, I'm Rachel Hollis, and this is the show where we talk about life. Real life.
Life. Real life. 16 strangers live in one house. Okay.
Around here, we cover everything from habits and motivation to relationships, parenting, and what it looks like to build a life that you love. If you're trying to...
And then as soon as you do that, you leave it for another life that you love more and always dreamt of secretly.
Heal, or just feel a little bit more like yourself, you're in the right place.
Dinosaurs.
Hi guys, it's Rach. Welcome to a new episode of the podcast and a bit of a bonus episode because at last check, over 500 comments on the Instagram post where I told people that I moved. And
because it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. If anyone followed any of your content in the last year, this announcement is cuckoo bananas. That's why you got some traction and you had your comments open for the first time in like 6 years.
People had many, many questions. So I am going to use today's episode to tell you all about it, to answer all the questions I saw reoccurring over and over, and to just sort of welcome you into what is going on in my life and how we went from buying a house in Los Angeles, spending the last 9 months remodeling it and making it great, and then promptly moving across the country. How in the world does that happen? I'm going to tell you the whole story.
I highly doubt you're going to tell us the whole story, but okay. Can't wait to hear how you make this a real decision that you made, and it's perfect, of course, now. It's the perfect decision. The universe aligned for her. Also, they have a house in Hawaii. This is way longer of a flight. Or maybe she doesn't have the house in Hawaii. Maybe that was her dream, too, at one point. I don't remember if she ever actually purchased the house or they were just renting a house in Hawaii. Someone fact check me on that. Because now that flight is like double the time. That sucks. Like, that makes no sense either.
Day. Let's begin at the beginning, which is I moved to the Hudson Valley in New York. I moved to the Hudson Valley. And I am looking out my new office window.
That sounds like someone who's really happy about that decision. I moved to the middle of nowhere.
There's snow everywhere. I went on my first run today in this weather. It was 26 degrees. My butt got very cold. I don't know. I was like, is there like warming underwear that you wear when you run? I don't know what you do. Or maybe you just have like a numb butt cheeks. I don't know. But I am in the Hudson Valley. And okay, I'm just going to brain dump this, guys, and you can listen to me jabber while you do something else. This is not going to be like a highbrow teaching moment, though maybe it will be, because...
A highbrow teaching moment? When have you ever had that ever in your life? Come on. Guys, this is just going to be me talking, not like the normal highbrow caliber content I usually talk about when I give you show recommendations when I don't remember the titles. Not like the content I usually do that entails me talking about my boyfriend and my husband that I equally hate at any given time. No. Don't expect. This is going to be a lower brow version. Okay, thanks, Rach. She is a small town girl again, so she's got to lower it down intelligence-wise for us.
Also feel like the lesson here is... when to move on and how to move on and how to do really big, crazy things and actually pull it off.
Okay, No one should take this advice. If you don't have millions of dollars in stock and equity and an estate from your husband that, you can use, and you've manipulated people for years to get a pile of money, don't do this. Stay stable in one place for as long as you can before you make a drastic decision, especially when you have kids of a very young age. That's my advice from a nobody. Okay?
Okay.
Sorry.
Let me take you back to why we were in Los Angeles in the first place. That's a really good place to start.
Can't wait.
I lived in LA for a very long time. My kids were born in LA. And in 2018, I moved my family to Austin, Texas. And we were in Austin for, I think, 5 years-ish. Moved there. It was great at first.
It was great. Oh.
And then...
Okay, I was going to say, don't even say it was great. That was the worst time of your entire life. It has to be. Come on. Okay, she says it was great at first. Okay.
Time I really started to struggle with, I'm not gonna lie, I started to struggle with the politics of Texas. I love Texas. I love everybody's right to believe whatever the heck they want. I think
Shut up. No, you didn't. That's why you moved there, so there's no taxes for your business, so you could be a mogul. Oh yeah, the politics is what got you? Come on. She was doing podcasts back in like 2020 saying, yeah, I don't really believe in masks. I don't think they work. Did we all just erase that from our minds when she started to go a little bit more conservative and she was still in Austin at the time? Give me a break. The politics. Okay, sure. Rewrite history.
one of the great things about this country. But I had my oldest son is gay and went to a school in the middle of the country outside Austin. He wasn't even in Austin proper. And so there was just a lot of things that he encountered and things that we saw that I really didn't like. And I didn't want my children to normalize those things. So I had started.
Okay, fair. But also you were there for 5 years and didn't move for that reason until your business and there was nothing left. And then you said, okay, let's get out of here. But okay, fine. I will say she is correct in that now that she's, well, I guess she's, I don't know. Fine. I'll take back my criticism of her politics comment.
To think about what it would be like to move on to something else. And then at the beginning of 2023, my ex-husband, my children's father, passed away unexpectedly.
Dave. His name is Dave. You had a podcast with him and a whole brand with him. His name is Dave. Okay? God. Going back. Sorry. She makes this more awkward than it needs to be. Literally. The father of my children. She did say ex-husband at least this time. That's more closeness than she's admitted to in the past.
So I had started to think about what it would be like to move on to something else. And then at the beginning of 2023, my ex-husband, my children's father, passed away unexpectedly. And I had already known that I didn't want to stay in Austin. And when that happened, I thought, okay, well, let's go to LA because we know people.
I thought like, yay. Oh, wait, hold on. No. How can I make this work for me? Where's that? How can I make this positive for me? How can I choose joy in this moment? Where's that Ed Milet? I have an Ed Milet soundbite that'd be perfect for this moment. How could I make this so that I benefit from it?
I have dyslexia so bad.
That too. Me? That also.
I'm oblivious to a lot of things.
Okay, I'll find it maybe.
In LA, we know the city of LA, and we have family in LA, and these kids, like, we need family to wrap around us. And so we moved back to LA, and I really appreciated being back. I'm not even gonna lie, I love the weather in Southern California, and I love the access and just all the things that you can get that you can't get when you live out in the country. And got the kids going to school there, and I moved to a really fancy neighborhood because I thought, well, if you live in a fancy neighborhood in LA, then your public schools are going to be great. And they weren't. I feel like
In what way were they not great? I feel like California has one of the better school systems generally, and she was going to Beverly Hills, like high school, or the kids were going to those high schools, I think. From my understanding, I think she mentioned that once, or at least around that area. How bad could it possibly be going there? I mean, maybe I'm completely ignorant, but I would imagine that it's fairly good. Like Clueless, that's what I envision in my mind, like that kind of caliber of education. But come to Florida, we ain't got nothing. You can take the FCAT and fail. That's all we do in Florida. Anyways.
there's a chance that some of this conversation comes out across as dissing LA, and that is not my intention at all,
She'll be
because
back
LA
next month.
really took care of us, and I'm grateful for it. But yeah, really had a hard time with the public schools in the area of town we were in, especially.
She wants to blame her children for all of this. So the reason she moved from Austin is because the kids were mean to her son. Okay, the reason she's moving from LA is because the kids weren't getting a good education. Where do you fit into this, Rachel? It sounds really like you're saying it was, oh, I'm just a good mom and I'm taking care of my baby bears. But in reality, I think there's obviously, I've already said this, there's more going on than she's saying. And it's her and Kez's true decisions. Come on.
For my youngest, she really struggles in some areas with learning, and so she needed more support than we could get in the public school there. So for the first time ever, I put all my kids into public school. You guys are just getting like a whole, like, you're getting the whole kit and caboodle. This is a therapy session. Here we go. Put my kids into private school for the first time ever. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this. I've been meaning to tell you this.
What?
And I haven't known exactly how, but it's really been on my heart to tell you this. So let me just, please give me 2 seconds to just say this. For the first time ever, my kids went to private school when we moved back to LA.
Okay.
And I did not grow up in private school. I went to public school my whole life. So I didn't understand. And now I understand why people are so obsessed with private school, and why people fight so hard for it, and why people work so hard for it. And it is awful that we don't have these kind of resources in the public school system. It's just grossly unfair. But having
But I will take advantage of it at any turn. Yeah, okay, we know.
put kids in private school now, I get it, especially if you have a kid that has a harder time for whatever reason. Maybe it's a learning disability. Maybe it's your kid's just a bit different. They're built in a different way. When Noah went to public school in Los Angeles,
I feel like I don't need to know about your children's learning disabilities, but okay, tell us.
there were 32 kids in her class. And then when I moved her to private school, there were 8 kids in her class. 2 teachers, 8 kids. That is the difference.
Okay.
And it is not something that everybody can afford, but it was a game changer for our family, and it was a game changer for her. The thing I've been wanting to tell you guys that I didn't know.
Again, what does this have to do with us? It just makes us feel worse about what we're already plagued with, which is, yeah, we know. And, oh, Beverly Hills High wasn't good enough for you? Now you have to go to a private school and it's, better? Okay, thanks for the info. I could have figured that out by myself.
I just really feel compelled to say this.
Tell me.
I did not know that every single private school, literally every single one, and I've sent my kids now, because of their different ages, they've gone to different schools. Every single one of those private schools had a scholarship program.
Okay.
If you were a parent,
Okay, the scholarship program, the 2 kids that can go to the school to, diversify the population. You guys, just apply for the scholarship. Shut up. Come on. Ugh. You guys, I just have to tell you this. Private school is awesome, and they have scholarships. Just do that. Shut up. My God.
listening to this, and you are like, I would kill for my kids to go to private school, but you assume, like I did, that the only way into private school is through paying.
It is.
You need to see if the private schools in your city have a scholarship program, because lots of kids go to these schools
At least one of you can make it, I think, hopefully.
and their parents don't pay a single dime. And that kind of education could literally change their lives and could change your whole family's life.
Wow.
So
Thank you,
I've been
Rachel, for giving us this information. She's a saint, isn't she? can now feel good about herself because she's told her idiot fan base that, and she considers them idiots. Okay, let me make that clear. Did you know there's scholarships at private schools? Yeah, and I agree. Someone's like $100,000 for the school, receive $10,000 for your scholarship. Yeah, that's like going to private college too. They're like, oh yeah, we have tons of scholarships. It won't cover anything, but we will offer it to you. It's like, yeah, okay, it's still unattainable. It's not realistic. This will affect, like I said, one kid in every school, and it's probably the friend of the neighbor or a teacher's kid that's getting it. Probably, unfortunately, I hate to tell you,
emotional right now.
Life is not fair. Welcome, Chelsea. Chelsea, welcome. That's what I have to say to you.
I was a waitress at Denny's.
And also, thanks for joining.
Why am I so emotional?
Okay, Rachel, I'm
Keep
sick of you already.
That's on my heart is like, I just want to make sure that you guys know that exists. Every single school. And that includes in California. I have friends in Texas who I've asked about this. In New York State. Like, I think that most every private school does it.
She thinks.
So you should check.
She's like, every single private school, this is a fact. Actually, I think. I asked 2 people that I know. Okay.
If you didn't know that was an option, I definitely didn't know that was an option.
Come on.
I am able to pay for my kids to go, but if for some reason you can't, and you always just thought that was the only way, you should check and see.
For some reason. I don't know, maybe the state of the world is a reason. The state of the country is a reason. The price of fucking groceries is the reason. For some reason, if you're not a multi-millionaire like myself, like, try a scholarship, you dumb shits. Sorry, I'm angry.
That had nothing to do with today's episode, but I've been meaning to tell you that. There we are in LA, and now I've got all the kids in private school. And when we moved back to LA, we just sort of wanted to get there and get them in. So we rented a house. I really wanted to buy a house. I have had a lot of luck with real estate in my life. I've, done it many times where I bought a house and then lived there for a long time and remodeled it while I lived there and then sold it and made a nice profit. And
many times. Tell me how many. I think the answer is like 2. Which is a lot, but also thanks to Dave, your ex-husband, the children or the husband or the father of your children, who you've distanced yourself from 100%. He also was responsible for allowing you to get lucky. Okay, point blank. In your entire life, he was the biggest reason. Honestly. Okay, sorry.
I feel like it's this great way to sort of invest in my family having a comfortable life, but also then hopefully make some money on the other side. So I had this idea to do this in LA as well. At the beginning of 2025, I found this great fixer-upper not far from where we were living, and I was like, this is it. We're going to get this house. We're going to remodel it. I've done it before, Spanish style, which I absolutely love.
Again, $2.5 million fixer-upper. Okay, when she says fixer-upper, she wants you to think she was in overalls and it was $10 and a turn-up. This is still luxury, okay? Even at LA prices, again, the house is beautiful, but don't let her fool you with her language that she was like in a shack and paid no money. 2.5 mil, okay?
This is going to be great. And my joke now is that buying that house is like, if you've ever heard about a couple who really knows that they're headed for divorce, but rather than get divorced, they decide to have a baby. They're like, let's just do the most stressful thing we can possibly think of to try and save our marriage. Let's have a child. That was me buying that house.
Hold up. Okay. Is this a cell phone? What's going on? She's saying that her and Kez were fighting so much they got a house to fix their relationship? Or is she saying, what is she saying? I'm missing it. I also think she adopted her daughter because of that exact reason. That's my personal take, because her and Dave broke up not that long after they adopted their daughter. So I'm just going to go back for a second. Sorry.
Knows that they're headed for divorce, but rather than get divorced, they decide to have a baby. They're like, let's just do the most stressful thing we can possibly think of to try and save our marriage. Let's have a child. That was me buying that house. I think that even at the end of 2024, I really was not feeling great about LA. And we would fantasize all of the time about someday when we move, someday when we move, someday when we move. And just to take you down that little garden path for a minute, my husband, Kez, loves nature more than any human. There's nothing he would rather be doing in life than be outside looking at a bird. If he could be walking 10 miles while looking at a bird, that would probably be the best case scenario.
It's complete polar opposite of her. Okay, for the record.
So he loves nature, and he hates, with just all capital letters, Los Angeles. He's a ride or die. He'll make the best of any situation, but he never was excited to be in LA. He's like, the smog, the traffic, like there's too many people.
The dust. There's dust there, babe. There's dust in LA, I heard. Okay, so he was never on board. Okay, now it makes a little more sense that he was not wanting to do this. This was her dream. Now she's given up on her dream because he didn't want to do it from the beginning. So he grinded her down like a mortar and pestle, whatever we decided on yesterday. Got it.
I want to be out. I want to be in the country. And I'm like, that's great, but I got to raise these 4 kids. So, we gotta be somewhere where we can do all the things. He lived in LA, but we would always talk about someday.
Literally every time that she could face a criticism, she brings up, I'm a mom and I have kids to raise. Do you catch that? Every single time she does something that I think other people would go, what are you doing that for? She goes, well, my husband didn't want to be there in LA, but I have kids, so that's why I did it. She blames the kids when it's convenient for her.
Some of you have heard me talk about, I have this champagne bottle. I like to write my dreams on champagne bottles and then store them in the fridge. And then when that dream comes true, we get to have a bottle of Dom. And
so condescending. Yeah, like I write my dreams on champagne and I keep it in the fridge. And like when it comes true, I just pop it. It's like, okay, girl. We get it. You're so good at everything. Thank you to Rebecca Romana. Thank you. Rebecca says, the Brittany Dawn baby voice she's doing is driving me crazy. Also, hi. First stream I got to catch in a long time. I watch your videos every week. Well, I've been missing you. I've been just sitting here waiting for you to chime in. And I'm so glad that you have. This is what I have to say to you. This is you. This is what I think about you, Rebecca Romana.
Wow, you're so wise.
You're so wise. And also,
her charisma is straight up off the charts.
And also,
his personality is like Forrest Gump.
That could be whoever you want that to be about, Rebecca. And thank you for joining. I hope it's going well. How is your you graduated last year? How long ago was that? You graduated recently, right? How is that going? Let me know, okay?
I'm proud to be proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, back to
my bottles of Dom says the first night at the ranch. This has been a very long time dream of mine that someday I'm going to buy.
Welcome, Sadie. Sadie, welcome.
I'm spending too much time working, too much time giving.
That's how you should feel.
I say ranch, but I don't want cattle or anything. I just want land. I want animals. I want my own vegetable garden. I want chickens that lay eggs. I want dogs. So this has been a dream for a long time.
I think I've heard her talk about this once in passing. So, okay.
Talk about it, someday when we have a someday. So that was beginning of 2024. That talk started to become more common. But in our minds, we were talking about when Noah, who is my youngest, graduates school. So she's 8. So we're like a decade in the future, right? Mm-hmm. And we would even make jokes like, oh, we're working out, we're taking care of our health so that someday when we get the ranch, like we're able to really enjoy it and like live our best life. We had this dream and then go into 2025. And I had been looking like you do, if you're interested in buying a house, you stalk Zillow. It's like your favorite thing to do. And I had been doing that. And I found this house. I thought it was great. We got that house in maybe like the early part of the year, started the remodel process. And I think you guys have all heard the saga, the thing that was supposed to take, it's like the oldest joke in the world, but your remodel is supposed to take 3 months and we were meant to move in July. We did move in July. And that was fully 6 months after we had started the remodel project. And we still didn't have like working bathrooms. Like we didn't have a full working bathroom, not one in the whole house. We didn't have a working shower. It was a nightmare.
Hold on. So what we did was went to the Beverly Hills Hotel and stayed there. It was so hard. And then we got free cookies every time we left. And I gained 2 pounds. And it was really hard on me because my makeup artist has been out of town and she wasn't available. And, you know, it's just... that's why I had to move. Do you get it, guys? Do you understand now? Sorry.
And we had a really bad contract. We had to fire the contractor. There's a whole thing on YouTube. There's a podcast episode. You can go listen to those old ones. But it was like...
those old ones. It was from like 2 months ago, girl. They're so old. They were like at least 4 episodes back. Life is a highway, right? I love this comment. Thank you to Spa Siren. I can't wait for her to say, my ex Kez made us move to New York, and that almost broke my spirit. I've always wanted to live in LA with wind chimes. Yes, that is exactly what's happening here. This is the pretext. Her next book is going to be about how much of an asshole Kez is, and that she never loved him, and that she always knew that he was the wrong one for her. Can't wait. The book that she just wrote makes Kez look like an asshole, and the way that they're making those vlogs makes him look like an asshole. So she's already on her way. I already am like believing her that he sucks. So it's working on me.
Just a comedy of errors, and everything that could go wrong did. And I'm going to be so freaking honest with you.
I'm sure.
I knew then, like when we moved in, probably 2 weeks after we moved in, and we were just living in a disaster zone, and we needed to find a new contractor, and just, I cannot explain this to you. And I know a lot of people who saw that post on Instagram and lots of comments and questions and like, how on earth, like what is going on? I listen to my intuition.
Okay.
I really do. And it's why I always tell you guys, just move in any direction. Just freaking do something. 23, 24, because we were coming out the other side of grief, so much of that time period was just like, get the kids settled, make sure they're okay. We had to do, as you can imagine, like all the therapy, like just,
it's only been like 2 years, 3 years since all this happened, and they've moved twice. You think they're settled? We did it all. We did all the therapy. They're not done with therapy. Are you insane? You know how much movement these kids have had to go through, and the public and the stepmom Heidi and their kids, and coming together and making content with dad, and now the dad's dying. And it's like, yikes. These kids need a lot more stability than you're giving them. I'm so sorry. Now they have a new stepdad. That's crazy. He died in 2020. What? When did Dave die? Let me look. It was 2023, maybe? Let's see. Yeah, 2023. It hasn't even been 3 years yet since he passed. It's crazy to go, oh, well, we're done with the grieving. What? That's insane. Okay, sorry.
Direction. Just freaking do something. 23, 20.
It's dumb advice. Don't do something unless you have stability and a backup plan and money. Point blank, money is what you need so that you can do anything. Okay.
Or because we were coming out the other side of grief, so much of that time period was just like, get the kids settled, make sure they're okay. We had to do, as you can imagine, like all the therapy, like just, there was stuff. We had to do a lot of stuff with them. And that was our focus. It wasn't like, is this the best home ever? Is this the neighborhood we love? Like none of that stuff came into play. And then as we started to find our rhythm and we started to get settled and we came into the end of 2024, I felt like you need to move. You need like, okay, like what's the next thing? We know this isn't the thing, so what's the next thing? And I thought that it was to buy this house. And in that process, like literally a couple weeks in, I was like, oh no, I don't know if this is it for us.
Okay, then why were you making content about it saying like, going back to my roots, this is our dream, this is amazing, we're going to record every minute of it and putting the floors and dusting the couches, and this is, I'm going to go in the car and record about how chaotic my life is, and here's my new kitchen, guys, and my new 17 burner stove. Why did you do that then if you knew it was bad?
Because I really did think we're buying this, we'll be here for 10 years, and then when the kids are all done with school, we'll move on.
They say mutual insurance.
It had to be
Crap, like was this?
Sorry.
new. Fords and Chevys, Lincolns and Jeeps. Hertz cars are new. Rent our newest fleet yet at Hertz.com.
Fun fact, you know who was the spokesman of Hertz for a while? OJ. Moving on.
I was like, oh crap, like was this the right choice? And then I told myself, you know what? We're in the middle of the remodel. It's really hard. Keep on trucking. So we did.
I love how she always knows too. Like even when she did the Camino, she flew over there, was going to do the pilgrimage, whatever. She knew deep down though that she was only going to make it 2 days. It's like, okay, you can't just change history and go, I always knew this wasn't going to work. I did it anyways, but I knew it wasn't going to work. So she can always remain superior to everyone else who's made a mistake.
And come hell or high water, we remodeled this house and it's so beautiful. Even when we were picking things out, like we pick things out for this house to live there. I'm talking Sub-Zero, baby. I'm talking the Wolf Range, the 8-burner red knob Wolf Range. If you know, you know. Like everything we picked was for us. It was not to like sell this house to somebody else.
Okay, so then you didn't know you were not going to make it. I'm confused. I'm getting whiplash.
But as we went further and further along, it just so happened that like a few things, a perfect storm, let's say.
Tell me. Hit me.
Number one, I started working outside the house. And this I think was probably, this was big.
By her own choice, she rented an office space in West Hollywood, so it seems, or Santa Monica, one of those two. Okay. That was your choice to do that. You didn't go start working at a Starbucks and you were making coffees. Like, okay, what are you going to say about that?
Why we no longer live in Los Angeles. Because the whole time that we had been there, I had an office in our house. For the first time ever, I had an office outside the house, which means that now I'm out. I'm out in it. I'm out in the traffic. I'm out in the chaos. I'm out. I was in
and she had an office in Austin. They had a whole property, so that's not true. She never had an office outside the house. Okay, so lie number one.
Works, which is on Sunset Boulevard, and I loved it at first. It was so cool, so beautiful. I would walk down the street to go get coffee at like noon, and I would feel unsafe. I didn't feel like,
on
sometimes
Sunset?
there would be great and lots of people are out and going to get coffee, and other times there would be someone who was clearly on drugs and they're like literally walking up through the center of the road and like screaming at people, and I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. So that was
wow. I was not expecting her to say that the homeless population is the reason she's leaving LA. I was recently there. I don't think Sunset and was that. I mean, that was a very beautiful part of town. I did not experience that myself. There are parts, of course, but that's like downtown LA. Sunset, you had problems? You couldn't walk to get coffee at noon? Did something change since I was there in July or in June? That's kind of shocking. And also, I guess you should move back to Texas then, because it seems like that's the politics you like. Okay, sorry.
I think that was an added element of like, just to give you clarity, the area that I was in is not, it's not a bad area. It's not an area where you, like it's a beautiful, but it just felt like, wait, where's the area where as a woman I can walk down the street here in the city and feel okay? And again, this is my experience. If you are in LA and you're freaking thriving and everything is great, you can ignore everything I'm saying. I'm just telling you my experience. So I didn't.
It just seems crazy that she's using this as like this. The reason is the traffic and the homeless. It's like, That has not changed significantly, in my opinion, since she lived there last time and loved it and was thriving, as she says. I don't know. Okay. Yikes.
That was one element. And then the other thing that started happening was we had a babysitter who picked up the kids after school. That was literally the only thing she did. She picked up the kids, she brought them home. And we stopped having a babysitter. It was fine because Kez and I would take turns. We both work from home, so we just take turns going to get the kids.
What does that mean? What does that mean? We didn't have her anymore? Would she do something? What's going on? You fired her? Why would you say that story like that? Very ominous and cryptic. We had a babysitter and then we didn't. Okay, so you have to move to a suburb of New York? What?
Their school was, I mean, I want to say it's like 6 miles, 5 miles, 7 miles, something very close. And there were days it would take 2 hours to go pick up an 8-year-old from school and bring her home. I said this, someone was like, what? Like,
well, if she's on Sunset in a different part of or a different part of LA, if she's on the west side and then she's trying to go to the east or whatever, yes, that will take not 2 hours, but an hour, basically. It's a joke. Like if you're going to one side to the other, it takes at least an hour. And I do agree with that. But you also didn't have to work in an office that you decided to rent for your podcast business that you could do anywhere. That's your own problem. Okay.
What did you do? Why are you leaving? And I was like, that was a moment that broke me. Was I'm sitting in the car with Noah and it's 2 hours. It was just like a really bad traffic day to go 7 miles. A few things compounded for me at one time. Number one, I've bought this house to like remodel it and make it great. But I don't even want to live in this city. Ultimately, I want to live in the country. Mm-hmm. And anybody who lives in a city and dreams of the country, you've also checked the Zillow listings for the country you want to live in.
I will also say, California to me has way more hiking and outdoor nature stuff than a lot of other cities. So if you want nature, you can get it pretty easily, especially where they live. So I again think this is bullshit.
Which means you know that the house you just bought in the city, you could get like literally hundreds of acres in the country. Like it's so stupid when you compare. Do you ever get, like my Aunt Linda used to always get Country Living magazine and they would show like this house in Maryland, you know, you can have for $100 and a bucket of chicken. Like it would just be the most ridiculous prices for these insane houses. So I definitely was aware of what I was buying in LA and what it could get me in the country, coupled with, man.
But again, wouldn't these be intelligent person thoughts before you purchase the home? If you're already feeling like this before, the traffic hasn't changed, the homeless issues that she's talking about is never going to change if it's like one person, you know, is in a city. That's going to happen anywhere you go. Why would you go through with this? I guess she didn't trust her intuition at all. So it sounds like.
I don't always feel safe in the city. And then
Beverly Hills,
the traffic is so insane.
Give me a break.
And it all just kind of came together in this, what am I doing? Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing? This is crazy. And I had this real, sorry, we're going to take one more added level. If you're still with me, thank you for being here. My oldest son went to college, and I am not going to lie to you. That is going to be my fourth sort of reasoning here. I had this real come to Jesus moment when Jackson, this is seared into my brain, that I hugged him goodbye and I'm crying. I'm a wreck. And he's going to orientation stuff. They have all this fun things planned for them that day. He gives us one more hug. He smiles. He turns around. He walks off. And I have this like, holy crap. Like, if you are a mama, you are going to, either you've lived this or you will live this.
Mama.
This moment of, wait a minute. I have built my entire life around these kids
No, you have not.
for 18 years plus pregnancy. Every choice I have made is for this baby.
No. No, sorry. Inaccurate.
Like everything I have done is he happy? Is he safe? Hey, we'll move to Texas. Hey, we're moving back. We're not. Everything is.
That was for your kids? Hey, we're moving here. Hey, we're moving there. No. No. You don't get away with this. Sorry. You're lying here.
For my kids. My life is built and structured around my children. Period. Period.
That's not true at all. Sorry.
And one day, they're just gonna leave. If I do my job well, and I'm trying real hard to do my job well, these kids are gonna be adjusted.
But you have an 8-year-old and like an 11-year-old. You got a lot of time till it happens. So why are you moving within 6 months? Abruptly. Again, all these things sound like long-term ideas that are fine, but it doesn't make sense why it feels like fleeing. You're fleeing a place. That is a different reason than you're giving here.
Happy, and they're going to spread their wings and they're going to jump out of the nest. But if you built your whole nest around the babies and then the babies are no longer there, what are you doing? So I have all these moments of like, wait a minute.
She's always leaving her kids' places. She's always going on solo trips and going to Europe with Kez and whatever. Like, and she was a co-parent for at least a couple years with Dave, so she's had time to herself. Yeah, I don't know. This is a stretch even for me to listen to this and go, well, yeah, I can see her point. No, a regular mom, maybe, or a mom that like was a little bit more normal. She's never, in my opinion, put her kids first. And hey, men do it all the time, so I'm not judging her like, oh, well, she shouldn't do it because she's a woman and she's a mother, blah, blah, blah. Men do it all the time. They prioritize their job over their kids. But she's done that too, so I'm not taking the excuse at all. Why is she moving to New York? For her own reasons, not because of her kids. Come on. She's going to blame it because you can't blame her for that. It's harder to be critical, but I don't care, obviously. Here we are.
Why are we in the city? And why are we sitting in traffic? And why are we in this house that doesn't have working bathrooms? Why am I doing all this for them? Because I think that they need to be here in the city. And then I like sort of one more step back is I thought that coming back to LA would mean that we had support of family. And that is not the case at all. Not at all. Again, why are we in Southern California?
I thought that she purposely was protecting the kids from the family support, which was Dave's parents live in California somewhere. I don't know where her family lives. I think they live in California too. What happened to them? They're also horrible? I guess. We'll never know.
Like, why did we come here? What is the point of this? So y'all, I just have like, all the questions bubbling in my being. I was out on a date with Kez and I was like kind of processing all of this. And I said, but someday. And he was like, can I challenge you a bit? And I was like, yes. I mean, turn me on. Let's go, accountability. Talk dirty to me.
Ew.
He says, you always say someday around only this subject. He's like, you are the queen of challenging people not to say someday. But for some reason, when you talk about this like future and the farm and getting back to nature and all these things, you always say someday. Why do you do that? And I was like, whoa. Yeah, I guess because it was so intense to get the kids settled in LA. And they, I've uprooted them before, and now that we came back, and
yeah, think about that. Yeah, that's the good thoughts. Actually, that is actually the smart thoughts. He's giving you the bad thoughts here.
Idea of like, that's like the future I want, but I don't know if that's what's best for them. And kind of as soon as I said it, I was like, wait a minute, how in the world would this intense city life be the best for them?
Intense city
life.
Now,
if you are someone who lives in
intense city life, as if they're living in like 1970 Bronx, and they have to walk up the Times Square sex district every day by themselves. Like they live in literally probably, I don't know if it's gated or not, but I'm assuming so, the nicest zip code you can purchase in the United States. The safety. My kids they're in private school also. So this narrative she's built is insane. This is making me think it's even something worse than I originally thought, because the story is so convoluted and bad that I'm like, it's like the Epstein files. They're really trying to throw us off because something's going on over here. They're like coming up with this all like offensive storyline as to why they moved. I don't believe it.
City, and you need to be there, and you love being there, and you want to raise your kids with the energy and the vibe. That's amazing, because the way that you pursue that is going to be so much different than me, who maybe doesn't want to be there. I'm kind of like trying to avoid the city energy. But if you love the city energy, it's really going to work for you and your family. But for me, no, I needed something different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah, that's a real thing.
NyQuil Intense. You want to start with your
dreaming.
You've got what it takes. Start your comeback today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
Yeah.
Then I started to dream again. Now, mind you, when I'm dreaming, I just want to be very clear about this. I am dreaming for 2 years in the future, because I'm like, okay, well, my oldest that's still at home, he is a junior in high school. So let's make a plan for when Sawyer graduates.
Can you imagine your junior year of high school being already having moved from like your freshman year, I'm assuming, or at least middle school, 8th grade, moving to a different school, and then halfway through your junior year of high school, you have to go to a new school in a new state? That sucks. I'm sorry. That sucks. And I think, is this the one that plays baseball and stuff? Like, you're in sports. I don't know I'm projecting my own feelings onto this kid, but in my experience, I would have been very upset if I would have been yanked out of school and pushed to move across the country for not a great reason. Because the reasons she's listed so far are fixable in the future. So you can't wait 2 years, Mom, for the traffic? Come on.
That's amazing. I'm like, that'll be perfect. You know, we can take just the little kids and we can go somewhere else. So I'm going to start dreaming for how we do that. This is the part where Auntie Ray Ray gives you just a little bit of coaching, a little bit of life coaching, because I have to, guys.
Auntie Ray Ray? Who the fuck is that? I thought it was Big Sis Rach. Now it's Auntie Ray Ray. And also, I've heard, if this is my first time ever hearing this podcast, I'm like, who is this broad? Sorry, I know that's offensive, but who is this lady? Why would I take life advice from her? She seems like an imbecile. Like, she didn't check any of this before investing $2.5 million plus. Like, what? You didn't check to see if the family was supportive of your children's lifestyle before you moved there? None of this makes any gosh darn sense.
This is why I always tell you to just begin to dream, to use your imagination, to think of future self. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What is it going to look like? I want you to hear me say that when I started planning this, no freaking way did I think that I am recording this episode for you looking out at a frozen pond. Like, there's no world where I thought that just a few months later, you and I would be having this conversation. When I started planning, it was for 2 years in the future. I'm going to show you how I went from 10 years in the future to 2 years in the future to where we are today.
To immediately.
But it
tonight.
starts with a vision.
In the dark of night.
And the vision went exactly like this. If we were going to move to the country, what must be true for our family in order to pull that off? And there was really only one thing.
Money.
The only thing we had as a rule was that wherever we lived needed to be within 2 hours of a major city, because Kez and I both have to travel for work.
No, you don't. Girl, where are you traveling to? Your kitchen and your bedroom? Like, give me a break. You have to travel as much as I have to travel for work, which is never. Me and my husband have to travel for work. He's a tour manager and I'm a stay-at-home wife. I must travel too for entertainment purposes. Like, okay. Okay. And I don't think it's quite 2 hours. I think it's like 2.5, but all right, fine. So now they're close to New York.
Big airport. And also, I want a little city moment, okay? Your girl's a country mouse. I'm happy to be out here with my pond, but you better believe that once a month I'm taking the train down to Grand Central and I'm going to go have all the New York stuff that I need, get my city fill.
Rachel, there's homeless people there. What are you going to do? You're not going to be able to walk safely as a woman at noon. That's not going to change in New York. Oh my gosh, you better get a bodyguard. Hire that. Get more master classes going so you can have a private entourage. You need it.
And then come on back up to the country. So I wanted both.
Getting whiplash.
Which meant for us, of the places we would be willing to live, because there are lots of places within 2 hours of a major city, then that looked like Santa Barbara in California.
Okay.
Somewhere outside of Chicago. And in a plot twist we never saw coming, upstate New York. Now, I learned in my post that I can't call the Hudson Valley upstate New York because people in Albany are like, girl, that's not upstate. For me, I thought this was upstate, but apparently this is the Hudson Valley. The Hudson Valley is about an hour and 45 minutes from Manhattan, and you can drive it or take a train, which is super fun.
Okay.
But for the first time,
Allegedly.
that came into play. Now, here's the second moment. Where in the world did New York come from?
Yeah.
Girls, I have one major fantasy in my life.
Your ranch.
Do you know what it is? I have talked about it endlessly on this show. Some of you are saying it.
I have no idea. I literally I know everything about this woman's lore. I have absolutely no idea what she's about to say because her dreams have changed 40,000 times in the 4 years that I've been paying attention to her. Does anyone have any guesses as to what she's like? Oh, my dream, the one dream she's always had beyond the ranch, that is a new dream that has just come. I guess it's living in 90210 and renovating a beautiful mansion. No, that was never her dream, dummies. To become a mogul, to become Oprah. I don't know. I'm assuming Oprah is about to pop up. I guess that'd be the one I would say that's a constant in her life. Thank you to Amy LX8RN. Welcome and thank you. Amy says, I'm disappointed in Chris Powell's new show. Nothing of value yet from what I've seen, and all done donations go towards Taro's luxury Amazon wish list. Oh, thank you. Hey girl, you got an Amazon luxury wish list. I got her a new toy. Hold on. I got her a new toy. It's a little electronic ball, but I think it scares her because it has a battery in it. Or there's like my hair is caught in it, of course. It's my bane of my existence. But I had this on, and once it doesn't get touched for a while, it turns off. And it was in the bathroom, I guess. It got caught in there. And I got up in the middle of the night to pee, and I literally, I tapped it with my foot, I guess, and it started moving. I thought there was a rat in the house. I really was like, what is that? And then this is what it was. So anyways, that will go into that fund so I can get her even more better luxury toys. So thank you so much. And yeah, Chris Powell's new show is nothing but an ad for a guy who's got a sketchy AI medical resort in El Salvador. More questions than answers at this time, and I definitely want to do a deeper dive into that whole thing because it seems not on the up and up, if you know what I mean.
Look out, medical medium's a cult.
The medical industry is involved with why eggs are bad.
I am the most liberal.
We were just talking about that.
I don't regret anything.
And also,
I just liked being able to get away with whatever I wanted.
Same. Okay. Thank you, Amy. All right, back to it.
Loud right now because you know what my fantasy is.
What is it?
You're right. Martha Stewart's farm. That
has never crossed my mind. Martha Stewart? No. You've talked about Oprah a million times. I've never heard you talk about Martha Stewart. I've heard you talk about The Rock and Oprah. Martha Stewart, until the last vlog, never heard her name come out of your lips. I fucked that up.
What I want for my older years is to have Martha Stewart's farm.
Liar.
I have watched the Martha Stewart documentary 3 times. I have watched the Martha Stewart masterclass. Let's not even say the number. And the reason I've watched her masterclass over and over is because episode 1, not episode 2, Episode 1 is just Martha on her farm. It's like my version of pornography. I just watch it over and over. I love it. I
don't buy it for a second. Sorry. Sell this to another dummy.
absolutely love it. So that was like my greatest fantasy. So then when I said, okay, what's within 2 hours of a major city? Those 3 came to mind. And then as soon as I...
Liar. Come on. This is such a lie. This is such a lie.
In New York, I was like, oh my, it's Martha. It's the Martha moment, okay? And then I was like, oh, wow. Like if we were in New York for the first time in like 20 years, literally, Kez would be within 5 hours of his family. So Kez is from London, and the flight to London from JFK being...
Her dream is to live in Hawaii, right? And to visit Hawaii. That's her dream. Now, Kez's dream is to be able to fly to London. Guess where they're at? Near his dream. Okay. So you're doing the same thing that you said you didn't use dill in any of your recipes for 25 years because you were married to Dave and that ruined your life. You're repeating the pattern, girl. You need to seek an actual therapist to deal with this. This is not healthy for you. You're doing the same thing, right? Like, that's clear. She's doing the exact same thing. When they break up, she's going to go, he ruined my life, and my intuition was that he was a scumbag, and I did listen to it. I just didn't do anything about it, and it was because of my kids. Okay, and then we'll be here again.
Boom, you're there in a day. Typically, when we go see his family, we fly all night. It's 10 hours.
Okay, that girl from yonder, great question. Why not Ina Garten? And that's funny that you say that because her dog, Jeffrey, was named after Ina Garten's husband. So, yeah, this Martha Stewart thing is fake also. This is something new she's created in the last month to justify moving here for some reason that I still don't understand. It has to do with Kez, I'm convinced. It's some nefarious reason with Kez.
It's a whole thing. I was like, oh my gosh, this would be amazing. Like, we could see them all the time. Like, his mom can come stay with us. Like, this is huge. The way that you know, like, okay, this is the path to walk down is everything just clicks into place. Mm-hmm. Click, 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 click. It all, our joke in this process was, it just so happens. That was our line. It just so happens that this, it just so happens that that. Everything just so happened to be so easy for us to do this. But wait, you ask, you owned a home and you like remodeled this house and like, what about California? Okay. So going back to my initial idea, all we started with was that we were going to move in 2 years. Now, as parents, the first question that we have is, if we were to move in 2 years, where would that be? And then we started getting real turned on by the Hudson Valley and everything it represented.
How did you find it? Like, we just Googled rich, yuppie places to live when you were running low on cash? Like, how did you come across this place? I'm so curious.
And then we were like, okay, but are there schools there? That's what you got to do. That's how you find your spot.
There are no schools. Sorry. Hudson Valley is education. They're all illiterate there. Are there schools? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure they probably have a school.
Are there schools that we could love? We did a couple of things. I'm just going to tell you the full enchilada in case you also want to be a lunatic and move your family to another state. Mm-hmm. We just started looking in the Hudson Valley and we narrowed that down because one, we had been here before. We had visited. We knew it was stunning. We knew it was beautiful. We have friends who live in Brooklyn and then have like a weekend home. It's a really common thing. Okay. My husband works in the music industry and there are recording studios here that he's been to. Like, so we knew the area well.
So we knew the area well. Oh, it sounds like your husband knew the area well. It sounds like he was about to get an apartment with the babysitter and you said, no, I'll go with you and make it work. We're going to make it work. I refuse to lose again. That's what it sounded like to me. Okay, so Kez has been here before. So this is 100% a Kez reason. Now it all is clicking.
Shh. Then we started researching schools. And I am thrilled to tell you that the East Coast knows how to school, okay? It's everything you ever saw in a movie. It's like, it's so ridiculous. And I love every second of it. I find all these schools, I'm like, these are amazing. And I find the private high school where I would want to send Ford. Ford is 13. When we make this move 2 years in the future, he would need to go to this school. And there are lots of schools up here, but there was one in particular I just really, really loved. So we find the school, and then in that process, because look, let me just tell you this too. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
When I get an idea, I am going to push every single part of it forward to see if there's flow.
What? Yeah, this is giving, you're talking to the cops and you're answering questions they didn't ask you. That's what I'm getting. Like, this is, the details are insane. Like, nothing, she's trying to throw in stuff like, and this, and this, and this, and then like a homeless guy in a traffic, and then I'm like, it was like hot one day, and it was just, the corn tortillas weren't as good as last time. Like, she's putting everything out there to disguise the obvious. Something's going on with Kez, and he did an ultimatum to her or something. I don't know. The dust, maybe. He was like, it's dust or me. And she said, okay, babe, can you give me some rosemary from outside first, please? Okay.
Every single part I'm going to push forward. So when I found a school that I loved, I wasn't like, well, in 18 months. No. Your girl immediately sends a note to the admissions team. Like, hey, give me all the details. Tell me what I need to know. I hear back from that admissions team. I do a call with them that day. Like I cannot explain to you how fast this all went. Do a call. Absolutely love the admissions person. I'm not even lying, you guys. My birthday is this weekend. And I made a rule. I was like, I literally know no one. If I meet you in my new town before my birthday, you're invited to my birthday party. So I want you to know that the admissions person and her husband come into my birthday party on Saturday. My birthday party on Saturday is entirely made up of people I have met within the last week. Like, it's about to be a hoot and a holler. Let's go. I loved her. She was so wonderful.
Okay. I totally believe that as well. This is a very real thing that happened as well. And just, she was planning it hypothetically, but then immediately moved here and got the ball rolling. Yeah, that also tracks for no absolute reason.
And she, very country vibes, which your girl loves. She's like, well, how old are your other kids? I said, oh, my daughter's 8. She's like, oh, well, I know the admissions person at the elementary school. That's so wonderful. You should talk to her. I'm like, please introduce me. Get on the phone with her. She's even more lovely. She will also be at my birthday party this weekend. You guys are dying. I talked to her. Absolutely love her. This was in,
I don't know,
probably September. Okay, this is September of this year that I found these schools. And then I always am gonna go experience the thing that I'm considering. I did the same thing with Austin. I was like, I'm thinking about this. I'm gonna go experience the city. I'm gonna go vibe it out.
How could she have done? She had literally, I guess she didn't post for 2 months, but within 2 months, she went to the city, signed her kids up for school, moved all her shit, got it to New York. There's no way that there was not, that just like happened to happen. It's not how, I knew I was moving out of Florida. It still took me a month and a half to plan everything. And I did everything myself, essentially. Like, I didn't have a moving crew and all of that. I had to set it up. So it's even like more you have to, it's like a wedding. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to get married at the, Versailles tomorrow. I'm just going to do it because I'm special. No, you have to plan those things. Same with a big move and take your kids out of school. You don't just do that on a whim. Sorry to say. Rebecca Romano, once again, thank you so much. Rebecca says, scary time to be a nonprofit. I work in addiction treatment. Got accepted into grad school, though. Administration, so I will have a fallback at least. Good. I know. Yeah, it is a hard time to be. Honestly, in any profession, I feel like, other than the oil industry, but even that is like, I guess I heard that if oil drops in price, that actually puts people at risk in the oil industry. We're all screwed. That's why we just have to listen to Rachel Hollis and just wait for the vibes to change, I guess.
deep belly laughs.
We're allowed to, this is disassociation television, okay? I hope we all agree on that. That's what my intention here is. Not to forget about the problems of the world, but to disassociate from it and get really, really heavily involved into something that does not matter at all in the grand scheme of the world. And that will relieve us of all of our pain and suffering.
We're best friends.
Okay, that's my intention.
Narcissistic, bully, cult leader.
And that's what I am.
Oh, okay. Cult.
Oh, it's a cult.
And that's what you've joined. So welcome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Okay, back to it.
So I say to Kez, I'm like, let's just go visit the Hudson Valley. This is a great time of year. It's fall. It's beautiful. Let's take the little kids. We'll go up there. We'll see what we can see.
God, the kids had to get out of school too for this. Okay.
We came up here in October, beginning of October. No joke. This is how fast this all went.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning of October, and we go to tour these schools. We also went apple picking. It was ridiculous. It was like out of a movie. When I tell you that New York State showed off the absolute best that she has for us, I mean, the leaves were perfect. Like, just, it was a joke. I mean, she couldn't have failed if she wanted to. She was like, girl, you were supposed to be here. You better get here with these orange leaves immediately. I was in love, every part of it.
Sure. Totally.
And we go tour these schools. We go tour the high school for Ford. And I am dying. I am absolutely dying.
Why?
Again, it's sort of like the school. I loved the kids' school in LA. In fact, it is the only thing about LA that I am sad to leave behind. And I'll tell you, if you are in Los Angeles, the kids went to a school called New Roads in Santa Monica. It was like my favorite. It's a really cool community. They emphasize creativity. The teachers are so happy to be there. They're amazing. So if you just, as an FYI, that's where my kids went in LA, and I absolutely loved it. But going to this school here, this like insane, beautiful, just imagine like an East Coast private, like the kids are in uniforms. This is like everything I wanted as a kid.
Everything she wants. Okay, keyword. Here's the school that she's talking about. It's nice. This is the one in California that she's sad to leave. I want to see the tuition. Apply. Hey, did you guys know that you can get a scholarship for a private school if you're poor and whatever? Click here, and it just takes you to, sorry, you actually suck and you don't deserve to be in our airspace. Yeah. Payment plans. Is tuition assistance alone? No. That's nice. How much does it cost? Okay. So they're in 1 to 5, right? Where's the money? Where's the money? You gotta ask. Oh, that's when you know it's real expensive. It's gotta be in what, the $70,000 range? It's gotta be, right? Hey, oh my God. I should tell you, like, do you have money? Like the Rachel Hollis podcast, is that an option? I'm going to apply my fictional children. Okay. Sorry for the aside, back to it.
It was amazing. And I was walking through and it was just like in my bones. I was like, Sawyer has to go here. He has to go here. This is like, I love where he went, but where he went and where he's going now are like, they are truly night and day.
I don't like this at all either. It's like you have a vision of what you wanted as a kid, allegedly, to be in a uniform in a fall setting. And now you're putting that on your kid who has no choice and it has to do whatever you want. Again, like she's saying, it's my kid has to go here. Why? This is, again, your choice.
And I was just like, oh, this is so amazing. So literally after that visit, and we're all in love, all four of us, even Noah is just like, wow, this school's amazing. I reach out to the admissions person. I'm like, girl, this is crazy. But my oldest will be a senior next year. Before I say anything to him, would you guys have an opening? Because just most private high schools, they want you to come in as a freshman. You don't typically, yeah. So I said, and she was like, totally, absolutely, like you, for sure. So then I go pitch it to Sawyer. Now, this was a question a lot of people had in the social comments were like, what about your son? He was about to be in his senior year. Wasn't this so hard?
No, it actually was so easy because my children are perfect and they agree with whatever I say. And if they didn't, I wouldn't tell you anyways, unless they disrespected me, and then I will embarrass them in front of everyone to the world. But otherwise, I just control what they do. And it worked out amazingly.
Here is the key. I know a lot of people are super freaked out about changing the lives of their children, and certainly you know your kids better than I do, and you know yourself better than I do. So
actually, it's a pretty standard rule of thumb. You should try to keep a stable environment for your kids as much as possible. I don't have children, but I know that is what you should do. And moving your kid in the middle of the year for no great reason is not really the best parenting move, I would think. Across the board, that's it. Like, I don't think my kids are special and they're very resilient. It's a mistake. That's going to bite you in the ass in therapy in 10 years when they get one.
Like, man, if I went to a completely different state, I would freak out, and then I wouldn't be able to parent well because my kids would freak out. Okay, this probably isn't for you. But I know myself. I also know Kez. Like, you've never met two people who are more adaptable and can like figure themselves out no matter where they are in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Then stay in LA, bitch. Sorry. Did you just hear what you just said? You've never met two people who are more adaptable to any situation they're in, and yet you had to move your kids across the country in the middle of the school year because you dreamt of having a ranch and your husband challenged you. What are you talking about? This is nonsense. Oh my God, I can't stand it. Lie to my face. Ugh. Pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, Rachel. Auntie Ray Ray, you're giving me an ulcer here.
And then my kids have had this benefit of they have experienced a lot of change in their life, but the change has always been grounded in a foundation of a really consistent home life. That is like the foundation.
Yeah, totally. You're such full of shit. Oh, yeah, where's Heidi Powell in this situation? 3 years ago, she was a part of the foundation, right? They were going to Arizona all the time. What are you talking about? They've always had a stable home life? No. In the last year, you just told us they were at Airbnbs, and then they moved in, but they didn't have a bathroom, and then they were who knows where. What are you talking? They went to camp. Oh, okay, well, they were stably at camp. All right. Oh, do you hear yourself? You need to, like, look in the mirror and talk to yourself and then hear yourself and go, this is actually not making sense. That's the good mirror exercise for you, Rachel. I know you're watching. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think she watches. Sunny Fawn 13. Thank you so much. Sunny Fawn says she has Disney money, honey. Does she? I think she's got some Disney money, but it is expensive. Money, like the MC Hammer stuff, or I don't know much about it, so I could be totally wrong. But they said, he had millions and then blew it. But if you think about it, if you had, let's say you had a nest egg of 20 million, because you have to pay taxes, you have to pay like capital gains and whatever if you're doing certain things. Let's say at the end of the Hollis Co. and they shut it down, she ended up with 20 mil. Okay, and then she's got properties too. So let's round it up 25 mil. If she bought a $2.5 million house, now she didn't pay for it all up front, probably there's a mortgage, but all of the trips she's taken, her kids in private school, 4 of them, one of the kids now in private college, I believe, her going to Iceland, her going to Hawaii, that's $20,000 a month all the time for 5 years. That you could probably blow through 20 mil. And again, you have to pay taxes, so you have to put some away, and if you're not putting enough away, you could get to a point where you're like, my lifestyle, and she's not making money, I don't think. Maybe with these ads and whatever, but I don't know. She's not making what she used to. She can't keep the pot full, is my guess. So, I don't know. she has more money than I will ever have. However, it's not what she used to have and not enough to sustain the lifestyle I think she thought she could. Whew. That was a lot.
18 stinking dollars.
This is another Dave relatable quote.
I am all about getting a free ride.
Poverty mindset.
You are privileged AF.
Your girl is a bougie bitch.
Who just loves the country. Okay. Thank you. All right, back to it. We're almost done, kind of.
My being is creating that for them. So no matter where we go, we say this all the time. We're always home if we're together. It doesn't really matter where we are in the world. We're always home if we're together. I knew that the kids would be intrigued, but I also wasn't going to force something like that on anybody, especially since we had been planning for 2 years in the future. So we come home from New York, and obviously Sawyer knows we were there, and like we're telling him all about it, and I took all these videos, and I was like, dude, hypothetically, what if we did it this summer? What if you finish up junior year and then you do senior year at this new school? And I'm like, if this is crazy, we will wait. Period.
Also, this is a child. I guess I'm going to say, do I appreciate her giving him a choice? Probably not. If she's saying, look how cool this is, please do this, it'll like make mommy really happy. And then you say no, that's going to make your relationship not great. So there is a pressure as a kid to just do whatever your parents want. Okay.
You think this is crazy if you were like, no way, I do not want to leave my friends. And he was thriving at his school, like straight A's, all the teachers loved him, like leader, the whole thing.
Sad.
I'm like, if you think this is too nuts, I will wait 2 years. You'll wrap up school and then I'll take the little kids and this is where we're going and it's going to be great. And you get to tell me. So he's like, can I think about it? Absolutely. So he spends the next.
You have 30 seconds because we need to move yesterday. The foreclosure people are coming.
Like week, he's asking questions. He's thinking about it. I'm in touch with the admissions person because now, mind you, it's October and all of these schools have rules about when you apply for the following year. So I knew that the deadline to apply for the next year is looming. So he's asking me questions. In the meantime,
Okay, so I'm assuming she's going to talk about how she got him in halfway through the year. If there's deadlines for next year, is he not in school for 6 months? I guess we'll get to that. But first, some guy 000001, my virtual boyfriend, just kidding. He's spoken for, okay, by some girl 00001.
But also,
that's for you later. You too. Some guys 0002s says Ray, you mean Aunt Ray? Auntie Ray? It's full of shit. Homeless in LA? Who knew? Yeah. I'm shocked that she said that. That makes no sense at all. It's like, I don't know.
Your girl is a bougie bitch.
A great deal of wealth is appropriate for me.
That's what she thinks.
I'm gonna make a lot of money one day. Little things like a private jet.
I want a little life. Just like a little private jet, whatever.
We all love money.
The opportunity of the 21st century.
That's what Rachel said to her son. Son, I have a proposal for you. It's
The opportunity of the 21st century.
Thank you, some guy. Okay.
Admissions person from the school is like, oh my gosh, it just so happens, remember this is our line in this process, it just so happens that one of our admissions people is in LA. Like he's in LA. If you want to take Sawyer and sit down and talk with this guy and ask a million questions.
Oh, high pressure sell him? Oh, okay. So it sounds like to me, Rachel said, I need to convince, I told my son I have to give my son a choice, but he has no choice. Can you send your best salesperson to come and pressure my kid into this decision because we have to do it for whatever reason. My husband will leave me if we don't move. Can you send a guy? I'll pay you $20,000.
He's in LA this week. So, okay, amazing. And it just so happens that that guy was staying down the street from Sawyer's school. So Sawyer and I go meet him for coffee. He asked the guy a million questions. And I could tell, like, just that conversation, I was like, he's in. Like, so I know my kid. And I was like, oh, he's pumped. Because the athletics program it's just it's like Sawyer's an athlete. Like, that's his jam. And he loved his school, but this is something completely different. So all of the opportunity that was available and just completely different experience. So he's super excited by that conversation. We leave that. The only thing that he was nervous about was it would kind of suck to go into a school for senior year. Like, he's a big community guy. He loves his friends. He's like, it would kind of suck to like only have 1 year with people. You go into the
Poor
school
guy.
and that's sort of where you're at.
Prom.
I'm like,
all
yeah,
that.
totally. Like, think about it, whatever. At that point, Sawyer's like, he comes back to me a couple days later and he's like, I'm in. Let's apply. Like, let's apply for senior year. And he starts the process and he's doing the thing. And I'm like, this is great.
She's making him do the work of applying? Seems unfair. Also, if he's a junior, he should be taking his SATs, his ACTs, and really preparing for college at this point. It's a big change for him. I feel badly.
I start the application process for the little kids. If you are still with, I can't even imagine who is still listening to this conversation.
Only us, realistically. Thank you so much to Stephanie Hell. Thank you so much for those gifted memberships. Hey.
Sales is love.
Feels like penis.
And they call that a bisexual tone.
And also,
As I was sitting in the cold plunge,
The mango frequency.
Am I the only hippie?
that's all for you, Stephanie. Thank you so much.
As I'm just blabbering, but continuing on. The little kids, I start their application process for their school, and we start marching towards moving this summer.
Okay.
And if you're wondering, like, well, what was your plan with your house? Girl, I didn't have a plan, okay? I don't work like that. I say, here's the target, move in the direction.
Isn't that her whole thing? Is like, doesn't she have, I swear to God, like, I feel like I'm being gaslit to the millionth degree with this woman. I just need to gut check myself, because didn't she just within the last month do, if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up going nowhere. You need to have a target and a guiding post and all this stuff. Isn't that what she talks about 100%?
I'm getting emotional right now.
Let's see. Create momentum. Okay, that's all.
I am getting emotional right now.
Let me see. Hold on. Let's go back just this little. Oh, there. Oh, so she was.
I am getting emotional.
She became
right now.
dead Martha Stewart? Martha Buert? She's really changing this as her new thing now. Okay.
I am getting emotional right now.
Maybe I did gaslight myself. Hey, you know what helped me? Oh, mixing my collagen. We often imagine that changing our life is going to be this massive, like, lightning bolt moment. It's not one big moment that changes your life. It's 100 little choices you make every day. Okay, except in this case, you're like, I just go big or go home. What? Okay. I swear there was a post where she was like, you need to, maybe it was her YouTube. It was like, you need to stay in one direction and pick your, it doesn't matter. It's all garbage and we all know it. It's like saying like, oh yeah, it's fat free. It's like, okay, it's still not probably, you're aiming at nothing. If you don't know your goal yet, watch this. Okay, that's kind of it. How to organize small changes, feel better, start living like whatever. Okay, I guess I did create that in my own mind. Never mind. She's perfect. You're right.
The target. I will figure everything out later for all this stuff, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, she has a planner, but a planner wouldn't have helped in this situation at all. So. Why are you selling planners? Okay, sorry.
Caveat here that I am financially able to do that.
Yes,
This is not my, shout out to you to like burn your life down and figure out the ramifications later.
Oh, but also, sorry. Granny goes gamer. Hey, Granny goes gamer.
God was like, you're done.
Hey.
Let's tune into this ankle.
Hey.
Demon.
Hey.
I've just healed so much.
Last one.
Who is this white chick?
Thank you, Granny Goes Gamer. I didn't see that. Appreciate you. Okay.
Girl financially is able to make a choice like that. It doesn't
Oh, no, it's a Reddit post from 3 days ago. Video of her in a leather jacket. Okay, let me find it.
mean that I could like indefinitely have multiple houses, but like for the time being, I was like, let's just figure out step one. Step one is how do I get my family to New York? So we start marching towards moving here this summer. Now, here's the fun little trick that'll change your whole damn life if you're ready for it.
Okay, hit me.
If you can do something in 2 years, you can do something in a year. And if you can do something in a year, you could do something in 6 months. If you keep compressing, if you keep asking yourself, okay, but
Shut up. Okay, I can't stand her. I'm sorry. As you already know. This might be it.
let me be really clear on something that freaks a lot of people out. So sometimes when people think about setting a vision for their life, that sounds like so big, so grandiose that it overwhelms people. They freak out because they're like, girl, I don't even know what I'm having for dinner.
Oh, yeah, the generic B-roll. So what's your vision? Your vision changed 18 times. 18 stinking times.
Later, you want me to come up with a vision for my life because they think that the vision has to be perfect, right? They're like, well, if I don't choose the exact right thing, I'm going to set out on the wrong path. And what a lot of people do is get stuck in analysis paralysis. They're so freaked out by the idea of choosing something that they choose nothing. And they keep living the same year over and over and over again. If any of what I just said resonates with you, if you can like,
I don't know. Okay. It feels like it's changed from what makes sense, which is planning, setting goals, achieving the goals. Now she's saying, burn it all down if you have money, or if you don't, get a scholarship.
How would I do that sooner? You can really make some insane moves in your life. You can expand in exponential ways if you keep compressing your timeline. It doesn't mean that how you would do it would always work for you. Like if you compress the timeline, it's also probably going to be more expensive, right? Like, but at least if you compress a timeline, you can ask yourself, well, could I do it sooner? So I start marching towards us moving there this summer.
This does not. Only the most gullible among us would buy this story. Any logical person would go, you're lying.
And as I do it, I'm just sort of heartsick. I'm like, I don't want to be in LA anymore. And you guys heard me talk about it on the podcast sometimes. And I was like so desperate to be back in the country. Just really, I wanted fresh air. I wanted community. I did not have community in LA. I did not.
So she had no community in LA. Whose fault is that? Your son did, apparently, which doesn't matter to you, apparently.
I really don't. And I tried so freaking hard to build it.
I'm
and
sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Doesn't your two best friends in your entire world live in LA? What happened to them?
Doing it wrong. I don't know if it's as much of a thing in LA to like come over for dinner and like, but I swear on my life. That's why I got a house.
She's like, I have these vision casting parties with my friends all the time, and I was hanging out with my friend who had this really relatable story about their life that I'm going to use in the podcast. So that was all fake. We know it was, but now she's confirming that was all fake. Okay, got it.
People coming for my birthday who do not know me. I am about to build such a community here. I don't even care. In any event, I was like, I don't want to wait till the summer. Like, I wish we could go sooner. Now, at this point, we're in November. 1 month ago, we're in November.
Selfish.
And I'm just like,
it's not even true, but it's selfish. If this was
the
true.
one thing that Sawyer's concerned about in this process is that he would only get to spend 1 year with the kids in the senior class. I wonder if Sawyer would ever consider going now. And again,
This poor kid. He's got no choice. He's got no agency in this. I wonder if, again, moving even sooner is also her kid's fault because her kid just wants more time with his community. So leaving in the middle of the year actually benefits my child because now he gets 6 months and a year with his new friends. Okay, yeah, again, not her fault. It's because her kids needed this. She could suffer through it, but her kid needs extra time. So that's why she was forced. Her hand was forced.
Cannot stress this enough. I let Sawyer make the decision.
Sure.
If he had told me that I was a lunatic,
totally,
I would have been like, no. But here's the thing too, to give credit where credit's due. Sawyer is my most adventurous kid. If Jackson had been a junior in high school and I said this to him, he would have been like, girl, you are insane. There's no world where Jackson would have done it. Sawyer is my most adventurous kid. He's my most outgoing kid. And he's an athlete. He plays baseball. He literally makes friends the second he gets on a team. So he wasn't worried about that at all. And I go into his room. I was like, hey. He's like, oh, he always knows when I'm up to something. He's like, oh my God, what now? I was like, I have a crazy idea. Again, I'm just gonna throw it out there. You tell me if it's nuts. I was like, what if we went after Christmas? It's November. It's November when I'm pitching this idea. Guys, just sit with that for a second.
So fun. She's so quirky. She's like so wild. She just does whatever she wants. She's so fucking cool. I want to be her Auntie Ray Ray.
What if I could find out if you could actually start halfway through the year?
Yeah, what about the other kids? She's got other children. They don't get any consideration. They're just like, you're along for the ride and we don't care about you guys.
And then you get to go this year and then you get to make friends this year and then you go into senior year knowing everybody. And he was like, can I think about it? I'm like, 100%.
You have 15 seconds now. Hurry up, child.
He told me later that within 5 minutes he was like, hell yes. Because I teach my kids, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. I don't teach no with that. That's not nice language for an 8-year-old. But he told me, like, as soon as I walked out of the room, he was like, oh yeah, let's go. So then the next day he wakes up and he's like, let's do it. Like, I'm so down. And then he was hyped. Like, he was so freaking hyped.
I believe that totally, for sure.
And I called up my girls, my admissions girls, who are, half my birthday party. And I said, girls, this is crazy. Could I pull this off by next month? Now, mind you, my kids have not been accepted to these schools, but I just have a lot of faith in how smart they are and that they come off well in an interview. And they're like, yeah, I mean, you can apply. And if they get in, like, we can fit them in. And I mean, we just moved heaven and earth. How did we do it? We just stopped everything. We started filling out applications. We started, where are we going to live? What are we going to do? It just so happened that when we came to town, we had been connected to a real estate agent by some friends of ours. And she had showed us, because I was like, can you just show us houses so like I can catch the vibe? And one of the houses we saw was for rent. And we were like, okay. And the house that was for rent, it's a long-term rental, but all the furniture's in it. So we didn't even have to like move our furniture yet. We were like, again, just get to New York, get the kids in school and get to New York. So we made the decision in November. We applied. We did everything. We found out at the beginning of December. And
so now the kids aren't even going to have their own stuff with them other than like the clothes on their back. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't think anyone gets it except for Kez. He gets it.
We moved to the Hudson Valley on December 28th. And all of my kids started school today.
Jeez.
It's my first day with the kids at school.
That's crazy.
And
that's a lot.
That is the saga of how we got from LA to New York.
That was
What's going to happen with the LA house? Lots of people are like, I've sort of felt like there was almost like a cattiness. Some people were like, oh, so you're just going to remodel a house and then what about the house? And I'm like, well, it's not meant to be our house.
She hates criticism. You made content. This is my new show. Watch our journey. Please share this with a friend. Me renovating our house. We want to show you our lives, and I want to open my door to you. You're my best friend. I love you guys. People in my comments ask me why I did something. Ew. Ugh. Disgusting. Catty bitches. Like, this is what you're asking for. You're telling people, I love you. I care about you. I am your friend and I will help you, and join my masterclass. She hates every person that's not her. You just need to know that. She doesn't want to help you live a life. She wants to help herself live her own best life. That's it. Thank you, Beth. Beth Puma, thank you. For you, I say this.
Time for me, you, and all the nations to get us some elevation.
Woohoo! I took a pill in Ibiza. No, I didn't take any pills.
Thank you, Beth. Okay. Oh, I just hate being lied to. Am I the only one that hates being lied to? It's so me, right?
It's so obvious to me. I truly believe that my legacy with that house was to restore it to where it was meant to be.
Okay.
I really think that house was going to be bought by a developer and it was going to be razed to the ground, because that's what they do in LA.
You don't think they're going to do that now? Yeah, what? Yeah, great point. She just reminded me. She was like, oh, we got this house because we, unlike other people in LA, are going to save this house. And us buying it and living in it for the rest of our lives, this is our forever home. We are going to keep the history because I'm just a history nerd and I love architecture. And I just believe that, we were the right people to pick it. Okay, so now she's going, take that. You don't think people are going to knock it down if they want to? I forgot. Now I'm mad all over again. You shouldn't have reminded me of that, Ray.
They take 100-year-old homes and they destroy them. And some people spend the time and the money and the effort to make them beautiful again, but that's not very common.
Oh, she's so uncommon. She's so unique. Only she would do this out of the kindness of her heart. But now it's going to be demolished, but it's not her fault.
So I think that house would have been purchased, and I think that it would have been.
Oh, yeah. Didn't she? Kelsey, yes. Now I'm pissed even again for the third time. She begged because the family, I think, had lived in it since the 20s or something. It was in the same family as the famous architect. And then she sent them a letter to appeal to them and said, oh, my family and I are going to live here. We're going to restore it. It's going to be safe in our hands. Could not last 9 months. And now they evacuated. That is so crazy. I hate to say it because my dad has manic depressive disorder. So I don't like to accuse other people of having it, but she could be manic actually. I mean, I'm no psychologist, whatever, but these decisions seem so erratic that I'm wondering if there's something physiological going on. Physiological. That's what I meant to say. Not philosophical. Yeah, good point. I totally forgot about that. Ugh.
Destroyed, and I think it would have been turned into a McMansion. And so I believe that the universe conspired and God conspired so that we could come in and make that house beautiful, Spanish style, 1928, with, modern elements. And it will find the exact family that's meant to be in it.
Oh, what a privilege it is to have your mindset. Honest, truly, ignorance is bliss. Just be so ignorant, and just whatever you do has no consequences. What a blessed life that is. Ugh.
Not us. And I'm so grateful for that project, because that project is what propelled us to this. Here's the one thing. I know I've been jabbering and I've been all over the place. Really, truly, I want you to hear me say this. You just make a freaking choice. You make a choice. Buying the house.
Okay, that all works if you have no responsibilities, aka what Kez's life was previous to Rachel. Rachel has responsibilities that she wanted, that she signed up for her children's lives. Okay, yes, she was young. Yes, she hated her husband, apparently, and he, manipulated her, whatever. But regardless, she chose a life of responsibility. and now is acting as if she doesn't have any, probably because of her husband's influence. Once again, her husband is influencing her to become a person she's not, and she has not found out who she is at the core yet. And it's sad. It really is.
Wasn't the right long-term choice for us, but it was the exact choice that propelled me to be like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Why is it so hard? Telling Kez, why? And he's like, well, why do you keep talking about someday? Like, to the depths of my being, I do not think that I would be in New York right now, which I believe I am supposed to be in right now. I do not believe that I would be here if I had not bought the house in LA and tried one last ditch effort to make it work.
Whatever you got to tell yourself.
Like I thought, if I can have this house and I can put down roots and I can make it my own and like have these projects, then it'll feel like home. And the reality is it didn't feel like home because we weren't supposed to be there. Our roots weren't supposed to be going there. Our roots couldn't take hold because they weren't supposed to be planted there. I really believe that we are in the place we were supposed to.
I really think, and as someone who just moved to be fair, I moved from a place I'd lived since 2009. Okay, so I'd put my time into that location in Orlando specifically. And I recently moved to a new city that I keep unnamed just for, because I'm not a fucking influencer and I don't want anyone to come to my house. But what am I saying? I don't know. Well, she said something that made me feel like there is truth to that. Like, I wanted to move for a new experience, to restart my life. I'm single. I just wanted a fresh start. However, I don't have any kids, so I don't have to consider anyone else but myself. I am not married or anything, so I have nothing to consider but myself. So I have the freedom to make these choices. But the phrase, wherever you go, there you are, is so true. Because I thought when I moved here, everything would be perfect and different and my personality would change, and it doesn't. You still have to deal with the demons at times of loneliness or times of peril or whatever. And changing locations is not going to give you an automatic community. You have to build that no matter where you go. It's not going to give you a different heart. You're going to have the same problems. Location only goes so far. Anyways, that's what I was trying to say. Needed a minute to come through.
And I'll tell you, when I told Jackson, who's my oldest, when I told him what we were up to and that we were going to move, he literally he called Kez. They're super close, and he called him and he was like, is mom okay? Like, he thought I was having freaking out because of perimenopause, which could happen. But he's like, is mom okay? What is this? What is she talking about? You just bought this house. Like, what? The move and whatever. And when I talked to Jackson about it, he was like, what makes you think that this is the right choice when you thought that LA was the right choice? And I was like, oh no, babe, you got it wrong. I don't know if New York is the exact perfect right choice for the rest of my life. But I know that LA is the wrong one. That's all I know.
Okay.
All I know is that this is not right for me anymore.
You say so.
And if it's not right for me and it's not healthy for me, and it's not healthy for Kez, there's no possible way that it's the healthiest choice for our kids.
What a great way to rationalize any decision you want. No. If I'm not happy, my kids aren't happy, so I can do whatever I want to make myself happy. My kids will be happier. Oh, that's good. Wow, you're so lucky. You're so unlike every other parent in the world. I'm convinced that it was the dust. I'm telling you, the dust. He had an ultimatum about the dust. And she's too embarrassed to admit that that's what it was, what it came down to. The marriage or divorce, or get rid of the dust by moving to a different dusty place.
And if it's not the healthiest choice for us, once you know that information, you can't unknow it. And people get so stuck in analyzing and they're paralyzed by what they're supposed to do. Do something. Don't do the thing that would destroy you if it goes horribly awry. But I am so grateful that we made the choice that we did because it got us here. And we would not be here in this place if we hadn't gone through all of that.
She's laying the foundation that if she moves to Morocco in 6 weeks, I never said New York was forever.
I am not afraid of making a big choice and getting it wrong. I am afraid of being stuck in the monotony. I am afraid of living a life that works for other people but doesn't work for me. I am afraid of repeating the same story year after year. I am afraid of every year getting to the end of the year, which is like every year for the past 3 years, getting to the end of the year and being like, why is it so hard? Like, why is it so clunky? Why doesn't it feel good to be here? I don't want that. And once you know what you don't want, you got to choose something else. So that's where you find me. You find me in New York. I'm so excited to explore. I'm so excited to head down to the city and figure that out. I'm so bougie, but there's a spa down there that I really love. There's some spas up here I really love too, to be fair. But I am so far absolutely loving it.
Totally.
I will not lie. I don't know where a Whole Foods is. Don't roll your eyes at me. I don't know where a Whole Foods is. There's lots of like great local markets that, there's tons of farms around me. So I'm going to explore all of that. But in the meantime, it's nice if you just go over to Whole Foods. And we can't do that. So I'm going to figure that out.
What?
You may have seen on Instagram stories that I was working out in my new gym that I built out in the garage. And there's just like a snake skin, like a really long snake skin coming out of a hole in the wall. I thought it was a cord, but apparently a snake went through my gym. And we're just going to get used to those things. But I'll tell you, on the same day that I found that snakeskin, we were driving to go take Sawyer to tour his school for the first time. And I saw a freaking bald eagle. A bald eagle just soaring through the skies. Like not even trying to be coy about it. Just like a bald.
God put that eagle there to remind Rachel that America first. She made the right decision and she is the most important person on the planet. God conspired that bird to be there for her.
The eagle, you guys, like a flag, America, fireworks, like just a bald eagle. They just have them here. So there's going to be things that we got to figure out, and there's going to be things that are magical. And I'm surrounded by snow and the air is fresh, and I haven't sat in traffic one single time. And I am so, so grateful to be here. And I think that we're about to have an amazing year. And I'm glad you're part of the journey. And I'm so grateful for those of you who have joined us in the podcast subscription and did our deep dive episode this week. I hope you loved it. And I'm so excited for our first coaching session, which happens on January 17th. For those of you in the coaching community who are taking a much deeper dive with me this year, we're doing some cool stuff. And I feel like I'm in a place where I can be restored by my home instead of depleted. And yeah, I'm just feeling super grateful. So thanks for your interest in what's going on with our family. All is super well. We're all doing great. And I will be back soon with more conversation. Until then, as always, I love you. And I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, something ain't right with that girl. Girl, something ain't right. Something ain't right with y'all. And I can understand not liking a place anymore, but again, I think you need to just accept it. Probably 9 times out of 10, if your kid is about to go into half of his junior year of high school, suck it up. Sorry, that's just my hot take. Unless she's being bullied on a daily basis on the streets and harassed, it seems like the weirdest reason that I don't buy as to why she did this so abruptly. Okay, let's just look at her before we wrap up, because there is a football game tonight, versus Ole Miss, I believe, right? And I would like to go watch that because I bet my dad $1 that Ole Miss will win, even though I like but he had already selected that one as his choice. And I already owe him $1 for some other game, so it's a double or nothing. Okay, let's see. Wait, can you hear this? Can I hear this? No. Hold on. Hold on. How come?
Dad, I just needed a bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. Oh, I wasn't sad. I just needed a bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. Oh, I wasn't sad.
Yeah.
Needed a bit of this.
That's her content. Okay, but here's her shorts. She's okay. I don't know why I can't play audio on this. She's asking in this one for makeup artists. She's like, hey, any makeup artists in Hudson Valley, I need to record videos and I don't know how to do my makeup, even though she's talked about it many, many times that she does her own makeup. Lucky duck. I don't know what she's saying. He's making a cake. He's probably saying something obnoxious and mean to her as we speak. And we haven't talked about this, but she's like the queen of changing her bio and changing her website copy all the time about who she is, what she's doing, because it changes so often. Now she's 1, life can get better. 2, you are the one who will make it better. And then 4 times she missed number 3 and went right to 4-time New York Times bestseller. If I was her, add a 3rd, and then it would be funny to have 4 New York Times bestseller. Hey, that's my consulting fee for you. It would be a cute thing. Hey, while we're here, you guys can also follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I am accepting new members. You have to apply by following my page, and then I will vet you to see if you're qualified to follow my excellence. I post sometimes. I've been precariously on the verge of 4,000 followers for like 2 years, and it would mean a lot to me for my vanity and ego if it could get to 4,000. But, you know, you can only ask for so much. Anyways, okay, that was Rachel Hollis, why she moved to New York. Now, do I think any of it's accurate? No. Do I think everything she said was a lie? Yes. Do I have any proof of that? No. Will I continue to investigate? Yes. So we'll have to revisit it at a later date, you know, when she moves again. But wow, I have not felt invigorated like that since, man, like Heidi got a new boyfriend or something. Like there used to be, and it's horrible because how it ended tragically for Dave, but there was a like you had to be there on the Hollis Uncensored Reddit thread back in like 2022. 2021, where every day something major was happening in these people's lives. Some insane thing had come out, or some, you know, cancellation level of stuff was happening on a day. Like every day I would log in the morning to Reddit and it would be a gift for me. I miss those days. That I didn't have that feeling of like, whoa, this is a big deal and something's going on until this. So I don't know what that tells you about me. So I don't know. Probably I need to seek help, as I tell everyone else. All right. I got a new royalty-free song. Hey, it's going to be really good. And thank you for watching. I'll be back. I don't know. Well, definitely next Wednesday, but maybe at some like additional time, perhaps. We'll see. And I also plan to edit this video, like so the 2 lives into one video, so it kind of tells the whole story in one video. So I'll put that up hopefully by early next week. That's my plan. What do you think, kitty? She's on her. I have like it's almost like a meditation pillow now. Can I? Hold on. Let me see. Can I turn this into a phone? Or sorry, I don't mean that. Can I turn this into a camera? I'll show you. I'll show you. Hold on, maybe. If I unplug it, plug it back in. Thank you, Peace Train Jump. Ready to go on the Peace Train. Camera, okay. You're about to see my apartment. Beware. Ooh. Look! Darrow! So this is like a little, it's like almost like a meditation pillow, but she was staying at her best friend now. We're best friends. Ellen and Aaliyah, shout out. And they had this at their house, and she loved it so much that they allowed me to take it home. And it kind of matches my apartment. My apartment is pink and orange.
Thank you.
And that's my bed. My duvet that I sweat in every night. So there you go. That's Taro for you. Isn't she just a precious little angel? That's what I get to see while I'm watching and listening to Rachel Hollis. It is quite the sight. Anyways, Taro's taking a nap, so maybe she'll pipe in, but I think she's in a deep cat nap right now. And thank you so much again to Peace Train Jump. I have this to say to you.
This self-heal and deworming community is pretty amazing.
Are you a member? Let me know.
Hate Squad.
They act like they do no harm. They act like they're positive. And this is what they're up to.
True. And thank you to Miss Lintilla. Miss Lintilla says, Tarot treats for enduring Auntie Ray Ray for us 2 nights in a row doing the Lord's work, Kia. Ugh, you guys are doing the Lord's work. Listening to this. Through a third party must be rough. But hey, we're all here for a greater purpose. God put us all together for this specific moment.
Holy and broken hallelujahs.
We're talking about something awful, terrible, the unimaginable.
And we got through it. Finally.
I'd fill that load.
Appreciate it. Okay, time to sing a new song. Bye. Hey, it's getting sultry up in here. I got that fire going in my ranch. And I'm gonna get it started now. Oh, was that the wrong song? Damn it! I was just like fire crackling. Okay, maybe I don't have a new song. What is this? Hold on, everybody. What the hell did I download? I specifically went... No, this has got to be it. Hey, okay, here we go. That was something else. This is all live. I'm plucking right now. This is on my guitar. And I got a cymbal. Starry night sexy. Do you want to get with me? Yeah, I know so. Nicole Campbell also knows so. Don't be a dodo and become extinct. Hey, Consul, do you want to fly to Hudson Valley and get a tally of how many times Rachel says she's happy? How many days do you think until she moves again? Just when Alaska over tundra. I think that Kez is gonna wanna move to London. Rachel's gonna have a new epiphany that London is the place they're meant to be. Very soon, Karasoto. Wait, Alaska blood tundra. Don't think I skipped you. Sorry about that. Never would do that. Smack, smack. Universe will smack you. Hope you know a guy named Matthew. Or Matt. What about that? Karasoto. Have you ever walked down Sunset Boulevard and seen a person that doesn't have a home? Did you flee the whole state? Or did you just get your coffee and then go on a date? Lillian Massey, I gotta make another announcement. I am getting nasty at the thought of being challenged. Ooh, that just turns me on. Welcome And thank you to Cooper Kelly 3 for celebrating 25 months. Woo! That's incredible. Thank you so much. Here's the next 23 months on Kia's World. It's my world, and we're all living in it. And I don't have kids, so I can move whenever I want. Robin Kapoor. I hope you wear a CPAP at night so you don't snore. I'm considering trying to get one for myself because I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm gasping for air. True story. I swear. Hey. Round 2. Don't think I forgot about you. Reblet Fuentes. Ooh, you're on my menu tonight, girl. Flipping open the pages. Looking for an appetizer. A little lettuce wrap for us. So what I want, they don't sell those in LA. We gotta go to Hudson Valley. Leaf Madison. I think you got a doctrine. The Don Road doctrine. That's a real thing that is happening. But let's ignore it and just hear about Rachel Hollis's life. Merva Bell too. I just wanna say doodle doodle doo cockadoo. That's chickens that lay eggs in the backyard. Hannah knows about them. They are white and sometimes brown. And when you have fresh eggs, you can find them on the ground. And then you don't have to put them in the fridge unless you want to. Olive Harper, do you want to put your eggs in the freezer? Or do you want them to sit on the counter in a basket? It's an aesthetic. Maya Sloan, I want to take out a loan because I can't afford my mansion anymore. I don't even live in a place with a door. Kim Possible 11, you know it's heaven. Hudson Valley, New York, that's where it's at. Unless I decide tomorrow that it's not. But for now, it's heaven. Kim Possible 11, Bone Palace Ballet 94. I would never call you a whore, never ever. But someone might, and I would be really mad at them, and I'd beat them up in a street fight. Speaking of fights, I saw Storage Wars. They had a fight. The auctioneer and Dave Hester fought each other. That was a crazy episode. I never saw that before. Amy, LX8RN, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. That is a different accent than I use when